Chapter 6 The Fiery Moon.
$3DO.
Tarnum's defeat of Vor's allies, the Necromancers, saved the World Tree from destruction. But as long as Vor was still out there, Tarnum's task was far from over. What worried him most was the silence of the ancestors. Had they forsaken him? Or was it something more sinister?
I don't know. Let's find out. Oh. Oh. Let's also get rid of that joke one. It's a new game, campaign, custom, the Fiery Moon. Yeah, the Schmogers high five. The Fiery Moon. The ancestors have been kidnapped by Vor, an ancestor who has gone mad with his power. It is up to Tarnum to rescue the ancestors and stop Vor's mad plan to destroy the world. Well, he's already the Avatar in him, so he's got this. The Endless Sands. Tarnum must cross an inhospitable desert, but he has a new enemy. He must defeat the Inferno town without dying himself. All heroes are limited to level 6, and all of Tarnum's experience, skills, spells, and artifacts will carry over to the next map. And of course, attack skill. Tarnum left the lush underground tunnels of the World Tree, not knowing where his search for Vor would take him. Like a divining rod drawn to water, he felt an unexplainable force pulling him... Gotta read it back on the stream. Pulling him to the northeast across an inhospitable desert. The World Tree is safe now that the Necromancers have been defeated, and this barbarian tribe who used to worship Vor has sworn to protect it with their lives. I admire them, forever giving up the warmth and light of the upper world to protect something that most people don't even know exists. There is still honor in our barbarian hearts, which assures me that I might still be able which assures me that I still might be able to repair the damage I caused. Once again, I must leave a place and people I have grown to love. I wish I could remain among these barbarians, but Vor still lives and the ancestors are strangely silent. I call upon them nightly, but there is no answer. Sometimes I imagine I can hear a distant cry of pain. There's no way to know if it's real, though. My only chance is to find Vor. He fled this world when I defeated the Necromancers, and I have a hunch that if I find him, I will also discover the ancestors. Yeah, I mean, you would think you would carry over to the same Tarnum since it's the same campaign technically, but to each their own, different chapter. A hero defeated a world-ending threat multiple times. Level 1. Alright. Drago Breach. Drago Breach. Alright, I want the Gurdy Bird. Easy. This pack of goblins claims they were once part of your army. They have been lost in the tunnels all this time and would like to rejoin your forces. Come on down. You see an orc woodsman and his son on the path ahead, huge bundles of wood across their shoulders. When they see you, they bow their heads slightly. The father says, "No need going that way. It's blocked." Blocked? How? You say. Cave in, months ago. Strangest thing, though. Those are some mighty strong tunnels before. Is there any other way to the surface? You ask. Sure, I hear those spell-casting necromancers put in a monolith of some sort down here. Might still be working, an orc says. You thank him, letting the orc and his son return to their work. Wow. Wow. Now we're gonna starve. There must be a way to the surface. There is evidence that I'm getting closer, roots protruding from the ceiling, dead tunnels too far from the life-giving influence of the World Tree, and I swear it's warmer here. I've brought along some of the barbarians to help me on this quest. I can't face Vor alone. In fact, I'm not sure I have the power to defeat an ancestor, especially a mad one like Vor. Is it even possible to kill an ancestor? I don't remember the maps. If I did, I might have been tempted to take pathfinding, but I don't remember what they look like. A pack of ogre magi stand in a circle ahead with a shield dangling over a large bonfire. You guess by their chanting that they still worship Vor the Insane. Do you want to attack them and rescue the magical shield they are about to destroy in Vor's name? I mean, I should just get that shield. The game not just watch that fight I took? Actually... There are several yellow spots of light in the distance like many campfires. What is this? An army? Gritting your teeth, you march forward to meet your fate. Instead, you discover lots of magogs waiting for you, prepared to do battle to the death. Thanks, Schmorks. Bunch of bros, I tell you, those Schmorks. Schmork, schmork, schmorkity, schmork, schmork. Hello, Zeki. Welcome to the stream, but I don't know what your name used to be before you changed it. Why artillery over tactics? Fuck tactics. Ballistarnum OP. I woke this morning sick for the first time in centuries. I rushed from my tent, dropped to my knees, and heaved for nearly an hour. Even now, I can barely sit in the saddle. Sweat rolls down my face as if the rain fell on me alone, and I can feel the heat emanating from my skin. How can this be? Then it occurred to me that perhaps I am somehow linked to the ancestors. Perhaps my immortality comes from them, as if I were part of them. If so, then what would happen if Vor managed to destroy the other ancestors? Would I die, or become mortal again, once again? Either way, it doesn't frighten me. It is, however, what I have been fighting for all these years, to become normal once again. But then I began to wonder what else would change by the death of the ancestors. They are our spiritual guides. They are like a lighthouse for the barbarian people. Without them, would we smash against the rocks of fate? Someone has chained a pack of Cerberus to the rocks in this area. Their leashes are long enough for them to hunt and attack you, but short enough to keep them guarding the border guard at their backs. You hear the clanking of metal tools on rocks and cautiously approach, finding several demons working on the cavern ahead. They appear to be attempting to bring the ceiling down in an effort to trap you in the subterranean land. When they spot you, they drop their tools and attack. And they'll die. Light streams into the cavern from the mouth of a distant cave. Finally, you found the way to the surface, but you fail to notice the black-clad men lurking in the shadows. They leap out among your men and attack. Level 6. It takes a moment for your eyes to adjust to the glaring light of day, something you haven't seen in months. The air is hot and arid, and the sun stings your skin. It feels good. At least my illness has seemed to pass, although I am much weaker now. I still don't know if this sudden outburst is somehow linked with the suffering of the ancestors. I would speak with the shaman about this, except I don't want to have to explain how I became the immortal hero. It's better that he never know. I'll take wisdom this time, because I don't remember if I need it or not. Come on down. Oh, well. Alright, turn them. Learn some spells. Sell some non-spells. And let's go. Tarnum doesn't realize one does not simply revert to being a normie. Hey man, don't break his dream. Didn't the shaman die? Well, Adar did, but there were 4 other shamans, and then yeah, there was also Niflheim, the elf. But I'm gonna guess Niflheim was just there for the world tree. Ambush! You shout as dozens of arrows fly from the rocks above. Your men take cover as a second volley falls. Then you order your men up the hill. Ferret out those cowards, you command. But your men return an hour later without a sign of the bandits. Later, you realize the arrows weren't meant for your men. But they're water skins. Half your water is gone. Half our water is gone. Oh. Not the water. I proposed the question to my wisest shaman, Wern, this morning. I sensed that Vor fled to the northeast, but I no longer sense him. Where could he have gone? I asked. The wise man was silent for some time, and then said, "What do you bring me?" It was Wern's way. In fact, the way of all shaman. Since shaman didn't till their own fields or raise their own sheep, they lived solely from the generosity of those who sought their wisdom. I reached into a sack on my hip, removed a ceramic bottle, and pulled the stopper out with my teeth. "Try it," I said. Warren took a cautious sip. His eyebrows perked up as he recognized the strong spirits within. Then he took a long swallow. "I'll think on this matter, Tarnum," Warren said. He took another swallow. Already, his cheeks became flushed. "Come back another time," he said. How useful. Sarfax. The bones of countless unfortunate souls litter the sand in this area. These are the enemies of the foolish adventurers who thought they could take the Ogre's Club of Havoc from the 3 behemoths who guard it. Your skull would be a good addition to this mess. Do you want to attack? I do. Aha. Are nomads remove sand penalty? Well, they say they're sand walkers. "What do you bring me?" Warren the shaman asked when I entered his tent. The tent? "I already brought you something. A bottle, 3 days ago?" But there was no recognition in the shaman's expression. Sighing, I left briefly and returned with a keg of ale from my own tent. "Oh, good. Now, return in a few days and let me meditate on..." Warren never finished his sentence because my hand closed around his scrawny throat. "No, you'll answer me, old man," I said. When I let go, Warren was more cooperative. Warren's been known to keep people waiting for an answer for months. If I hadn't shown the shaman I was serious, I would never learn anything. Yes, you wanted to know where the mad ancestor could have gone. I tried to talk to the spirits, but they are quiet. Strange. It worries me. Yes, I know that already, but where could Vor have gone? Without the guidance of the ancestors, I cannot say, Warren said. In truth, none of us are whole without the ancestors. Thank you, I said, standing. Before I left the tent, I added, "Keep trying, will you?" Quietly, Warren said. Of course. Hey, Espion. We found it! The Inferno town to the northeast! That's just mean. Last night, the camp was attacked by a swarm of imps. They flew among the men, scratching them and running off the horses. They tore down the tents and pitched burning brands on them, while my men were still inside. Thankfully, no one was killed during that chaos, although there were many injuries. When it was all over, however, I learned the true nature of our attack. The little creatures managed to snatch some of our supplies. Hey, Beckus. Ootity! The hooded bandits shout as they spring from the rocks. You can't see their faces, but their murderous eyes from within the darkness of their clothes. Really? Nope. That's not worth a rock. We spent most of the morning searching for some missing goblins. They went out last night to collect firewood, and no one realized until now that they never came back. Unfortunately, we discovered them staked to anthills, long dead. It was obviously the work of one of those twisted demons. I recognized their battle tactics. They like to strike fear in their opponents before they attack. Men don't fight as well when they fear their opponent, and my men fear these demons now. Bunch of cowards. come on. Also, I'd just like to say, for the millionth time, Ballistics remains undefeated. Alright, I'm sorry to do this, guys, but I gotta save.